Hey there, ever found yourself waiting on a single task to finish before starting another? Well, by the end of this, you'll be able to speed up your code by running tasks in parallel using subagents in Claude Code. Imagine cutting down your build time or improving response times. Subagents can make all that possible. So let's dive right into making your workflow more efficient. First things first, open your terminal and navigate to your project directory where you have Claude Code set up. If you haven't already, make sure you've initialized a project with Claude Code by running cc init. This sets everything up for us to use subagents. Next, we're going to create our very first subagent. In the root of your project, run this command. Bash cc new subagent my subagent template equals Python. This will generate a Python subagent named my subagent that you can customize as needed. The template provides a basic structure for tasks and responses. Once the subagent is created, head over to its directory. Bash cd my subagent. Now, let's open the file where we'll define our task. It's called task.py. By default, it looks something like this. Python. From Claude_Code.api import task. Class my task async def run self input data dict -dict. Hashtag your async tasks go here. Return result, your asynchronous operation. This file is where you'll put your logic for running operations asynchronously. For now, let's add a simple print statement to see that it runs. Python. From Claude_Code.api import task. Class my task async def run self input data dict -dict. Await self.log. My task is running. Return result. Hello from subagent. Now, let's make sure everything works as expected by running our subagent. Bash cc run my subagent. You should see the log message printed out. This means your subagent is up and running, ready to handle tasks asynchronously. Okay, so now you're all set up with Claude Code, and we've introduced the idea of running tasks in parallel to speed things up. For today, let's get our project ready for that magic by creating a simple Python script. First off, if you haven't already, open your terminal and navigate to your project directory where you want to start coding. Make sure you're in there now. If not, just type cd // to / your / project and hit enter. Next, let's create a new file for our work. You can name it anything you like, but let's call it parallel_tasks.py. Use this command. Touch parallel_tasks.py. This will create an empty Python script. Now, open in your favorite code editor or IDE. I recommend VS Code, so if you're using that, just type code parallel_tasks.py. In parallel_tasks.py, we'll write a simple function to simulate work that needs to be done in parallel. Type this into the file. Python. From concurrent.futures import threadpool executor. Def task in. Return f task in is complete. Def main. With threadpool executor, max_workers equals 5 as executor. Future theta equals executor.submit task I for I in range 10. For future in future__ data. Print future.result. If __name __ equals __, main. This script uses threadpool executor from the concurrent.futures module to run tasks in parallel. We define a simple task function and then submit it multiple times, each with different data. Now save your file, Ctrl+S or CMD+S, and let's take a look at how we can use Claude Code to run this script using subagents. All right, you got your project set up. Now let's dive into creating the main script that will orchestrate everything. Open your terminal or IDE and create a new file called main.py. This is where we'll do the heavy lifting to manage our tasks and launch subagents in parallel. First things first, let's write a simple structure for this file. Type out these lines. Python, import essentio, async def main, print starting main script. Hashtag here's where you'll spawn your subagents. Task 1 equals essentio.create_task, subagent_1. Task 2 equals essentio.create_task, subagent_2. Await task 1. Await task 2. If underscore name underscore equals underscore main essentio.runAin. This code sets up an asynchronous function, main, where we initiate two subagents, one after another. We use essentio.create underscore task to run them in parallel. By the end of this, your main.py should look like this. Python. Import essentio. Async def main. Print starting main script. Task 1 equals essentio.create underscore task, subagent underscore 1. Task 2 equals essentio.create underscore task, subagent underscore 2. Await task 1. Await task 2. If underscore equals main essentio.runAin. Now, you can start writing your subagents. But for now, let's keep it simple and just use placeholder functions to test everything works. Python. Async def subagent underscore 1. Print subagent 1 running. Async def subagent underscore 2. Print subagent 2 running. Your full main.py should look like this. Python. Import essentio. Async def subagent underscore 1. Print subagent 1 running. Async def subagent underscore 2. Print subagent 2 running. Async def main. Print starting main script. Task 1 equals essentio.create underscore task, subagent underscore 1. Task 2 equals essentio.create underscore task, subagent underscore 2. Await task 1. Await task 2. If underscore name equals underscore essentio.runAin. Now you have a basic main.py file that can run subagents in parallel. Next, let's add some actual functionality to those subagents so they do something useful. You want to flesh out what each of your subagents should actually do based on your project needs. All right, you've got your project set up, and now it's time to write the main script that will kick off everything. This is where we bring in the power of subagents to run tasks in parallel. Let's get started. Step 1. Open your text editor or IDE and create a new file named main.py. Make sure this file lives in the same directory as your project's Claude.yaml configuration. Step 2. Copy and paste the following code into main.py. Python. From Claude_code, import subagent. Def main. #launch 2 subagents to run tasks concurrently. Sub1 equals subagent.launch. Task 1 underscore script.py. Sub2 equals subagent.launch. Task 2 underscore script.py. #wait for both subagents to finish and print their results. Result 1 equals sub1 wait underscore for underscore result. Result 2 equals sub2.wait underscore for underscore result. # combine the results in some way, or just print them out. Print f task 1 result. Result. Print f task 2 result. Result 2. If underscore name underscore equals underscore main. Step 3. Make sure that task 1 underscore script.py and task 2 underscore script.py are correctly configured in your project's Claude.yaml. These scripts should define the tasks you want to run concurrently. For simplicity, let's assume they just print something out. In Claude.yaml, you might have YAML, tasks, name, task 1, script, task 1 underscore script.py, name, task 2, script, task 2 underscore script.py. Step 4. Save your main.py and go back to the terminal. Run your project with Claude Code by typing bash python main.py. You'll see both subagents running in parallel. The results should be printed out, showing that tasks are indeed being handled concurrently. That's it for this step. By writing a main script like this one, you're harnessing the power of subagents to run your tasks efficiently and speed up development. All right, you've got your main script all set up with those subagents, and each one is ready to run its own task in parallel. Now it's time to see the magic happen. Let's hit the ground running. First off, make sure your environment is all good to go by checking if Claude Code is installed and you're logged in. Open a terminal or command prompt. Navigate to the directory where your main script lives and type bash /run_main.sh. If everything is configured correctly, your subagents should start up like clockwork, each tackling its assigned task. If something isn't working as expected, take a look at the logs for clues. Claude Code gives you access to detailed logs that can help you track down issues. Once they're all chugging away, head over to your terminal and watch those tasks unfold in parallel. You'll see how efficiently Claude handles these subagents, making sure no task is left idle while others finish up. By the end of this, not only will your code be running faster, but you'll also have a better understanding of how to leverage subagents for more complex projects. Great job setting up parallel processing with subagents in Claude Code. You've taken a big step towards making your development workflow more efficient by leveraging the power of parallel execution. Now, let's put what you've learned to the test. First off, go ahead and add some more complex tasks to your script. Maybe create a function that handles different types of data processing or even integrates external APIs in parallel. See how Claude Code handles these new tasks. Your project will thank you for it. To help you get started, here's a quick example. 1. Add more processing functions. In your main script file, define a few more functions that each handle a different type of data processing. For instance, Python, def processing data. Return processed A plus str data, def processing b data. Return processed B plus str data. 2. Modify your subagent setup. Update your subagent setup to include these new functions. For example, in your subagents.py file, Python, from Claude_Code, import subagent. Class mySubagent, subagent. Def __init _self. Super _init self.functions equals processing _a processing b. Async def run self. Tasks equals. For func in self.functions. Tasks.append func sample data. Return await essentio.gather asterisk tasks. 3. Run your script. Finally, make sure to call your updated subagent from the main script and observe how everything runs smoothly. Python, if _name equals main import essentio. Result equals essentio.run, mysubagent.run. Print result. By doing this, you'll see just how versatile and powerful parallel processing can be in Claude Code.